The next series of videos will focus on course materials. To see your course materials, first you must go into a course. Select Courses and select your sandbox. To add a material, you click on Add Materials and select Add Folder. You're going to give your folder a title. We'll call this Unit 2. You may want to add a color to your folders. This is important, especially if you add a lot of folders. It'll help you to identify each one. You also may want to put a description. There is also a date range where you can specify those dates. So if this is a folder that will run for a month, you can publish it. You can specify those dates here. You can also set a time for each one of them. So if this starts at 8 a.m. and then it ends at the end of the day on November 1st, you can specify those dates. Now the availability is where you can set if the folder is visible. If you don't want it to be visible to the students, you may want to set this just in case you want to populate all of the materials within the folder, but not necessarily have the students see all the work that you're doing. You can publish it on the start date, which would be this first date here on October 1st. And you can also publish it during the range. So the range would be 10-1 to 11-1. Once everything is set, you click Create. Now this new folder says that it is unpublished because I selected the range. If I want to have it published immediately, I can click the settings gear, click Edit, and just set this as published. Now when I save, it is now published. To create a folder within a folder, you can select the first folder, click Add Materials, select Add Folder, and this folder we can call Week 1, put a description, and now for this I can set my date, which would be that first week of October, and then again I can make my availability. I can set it to published, unpublished, start on this date, or do the range. So I'm just going to hit Create. Now here is my folder. If I click back here to my course, this little breadcrumb here, now you can see the first folder that I created, the Unit 2 folder. And then if I click this arrow, you can see my little subfolder that I created for Week 1. Now, if I'd like to move a folder, I can click on the settings gear, click Move, and then I can put it wherever I want to put it. So for this, I'm going to just say I want it to go in the Tech 1 folder that I've created already. I can click Tech 1, click Move. Now you notice the folder has disappeared from Unit 2, and now it is under Tech 1. If I want this folder to appear in all of my classes or just some of my classes, I can move over to the settings gear and click Copy to Courses. When I do that, now I can select multiple courses for it to go to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this other sandbox that I have created, and I'm just going to put it at the starting point of all my materials, right at the beginning. So if I click Copy Folder and then click Copy, when I go to my other course, which is the My Sandbox 2, that Week 1 folder is now has now been copied here. Now at this point, I'm going to return back to my sandbox. And if this is a folder that I want to reuse every school year, what I can actually do is save it to my resources. If I click here and click Save to Resources, I can now save it to a place that can be accessed every year and copied to all of my courses each school year. We will cover this in more detail when we get to the resources video. To delete a folder, you simply click on the settings gear and click delete. You will receive a warning. Once you click delete, it will be deleted. Now, if you've created that folder in every class, it will not delete it from every class. It'll only delete it from the class that you are currently in. If you've copied it to all of your classes, you would have to go into each one and delete it individually.